we've been doing movie nights for
years.
Gen Xer and
A Gen Z. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
And he crashes them.
As you do.
It's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk. This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew.
And we have returned.
And finally, you picked something other than a Nicolas Cage movie.
Okay, it's not my fault that those are the ones that keep ending up being picked.
It's like you just kept hitting one after another after another.
Yeah.
No, but we had something interesting tonight. So, tonight you hit a whole new track. One we haven't actually cracked open yet. You hit the TV track.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have a whole set of movies, mostly stuff like this that are pilots from just iconic television from my era that you might not have heard of, or that you kind of have, kind of haven't. And so tonight, you discovered the greatest American hero.
And the thing is, I am slightly aware of this one. You have a Lego version of this costume that I was around. I remember being around a lot when this was being built, and also when you were talking about it. So I know of this show, just nothing about it.
You hadn't seen it. It's just it looked like it's just another superhero.
Yeah.
And just another superhero show. Yeah, I actually built that that Lego costume. I'm thinking I probably did it with Great Lakes Comic-Con in mind, the year that they were bringing in William Catt, the actor. I think I had. I mean, that one's reversible as well. Mm-hmm. If you flip it around, it turns into Deadpool. But flip it around and put a different head on.
Yeah.
And it was built that way so I could get more use out of it. But then again, I've worn that out a couple times because it's just such a weird mashup.
Yeah.
And so William Catt actually got to see me in it. I've got a photo with the two of us. In fact, as soon as I got over there in his line, mm-hmm. And we're getting ready to take the photo, and people just started flocking over.
Oh,
like there
gosh.
was dozens that just kept coming over to take photos of us together. And my handler, poor Rocky, he's like had to like, hey, can I get in here? Because I'm like actually with him trying to take his photo for him. Mm-hmm. So, yes, and as we were starting this up, it's like, okay, yes, and I can sense hesitation, reluctance, like, okay, yeah, what, and this is...
I don't... No, what do I even say here? I kept getting this thing turned on my head throughout this whole thing.
You kept going like, this is not what I expected.
No, the movie starts off with like a high school teacher. I'm like, okay, cool. I love this kind of thing. Where's the suit? I feel like I'm being tricked here. And then a few minutes later, we're stuck on the side of the road. Okay, is this going to turn into a horror movie? Are we going to be like picked off one by one in the dark in the desert? No. Okay. What are those floating? Okay, why are there aliens? Okay, what do you mean this only works for one person? Okay, who is this lady? What are you talking about? A custody battle? Wait, this person has a child? Like I am all over the place in this.
They threw a lot at you fast and furious here. But, man, they did such a good job of introducing and establishing all of these characters. All these very different kind of characters. I mean, even if you just want to talk about the main cast, about Ralph, who's got the suit, or Bill, his FBI friend, or Pam, the lawyer that's handling his custody battle and is about to become the girlfriend as well.
Yeah.
You know, but then you also have to throw in all the high schoolers, all the kids, because the kids are not a minor part of this. The kids are really...
I wish they had a bigger part to it.
I don't know. I felt like the kids had more to do than like the cult that they're foiling at the very end.
That's true.
This felt so much more about like just establishing the high school and the class than the adventure.
Like I personally really enjoy that whole trope of like a bad teacher slowly bringing a group of or a good teacher bringing a group of bad kids together, and like I enjoyed that trope, and I'm like,
You were really having fun with it too. You were engaged in that stuff.
Yeah, I kept saying throughout the whole thing, because like we have the main leader of all these children who seems to be the one that's like organizing all of this chaos.
He's the tough. He's the bully.
I'm just like, cut off the head, either befriend or kill them, and then the rest of the students will follow you. And I yelled that at least 3 times throughout this movie.
And he really is doing that. I mean, he's like, the bully's threatening Ralph, and Ralph's like, you know what? Let's head to the gym tomorrow. We'll put on headgear and box it out.
And I'm like, yeah, I respect that.
And so did the bully. So did everybody else. You do see a lot of that, a lot of him coming around, and a lot of the way that Ralph's engaging in this with this class. The little kid, actually, the son that he's fighting to get his custody of, I'd completely forgotten about this kid, because the kid actually kind of vanishes as the story goes on.
Oh?
They don't know what to do with him, so he just kind of stops showing up.
Oh.
So he fades away throughout. Some things happen like that. This is the pilot, so this is like the double-length episode to try and sell the show. Mm-hmm. So, right around this time, about a year or so maybe, Superman, the movie, just hit theaters, and hit big. So ABC wanted a superhero show like Superman. And that's what they're trying to do here. The writer is Stephen J. Cannell. He wrote every adventure cult show in the 80s. This man is an absolute legend.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he absolutely did not want to write a superhero show.
Of course he didn't.
But, you know, I think that also comes through a little bit, because you would point out how some of the real world ramifications here. I do. That
was one of the things that I did really enjoy about this. I really enjoyed, like, they're referencing actual media. They are making, I didn't understand all the references. I'm sure you do, but I don't. I didn't get a couple of them. But I enjoy that, like, reference to the real world. I enjoyed the reality of, like, moving the cape every time it needs to be adjusted, fixing the neckline, hiding the cape in the back of his shirt. Like, I really like that realism. It makes it feel so much more real to me.
Well, and the suit's important here, because Cannell made a deal with the network. I will write this. I will write you your superhero show. But the condition is the powers are in the suit, not in the man.
Okay.
So if he takes the suit off...
Yeah, he doesn't have anything.
He doesn't have anything. He's completely vulnerable.
And I feel like that adds a whole new layer to the whole superhero thing. Like, it's not like with Superman per se, where he always wears it just in case he needs to go out. It's like he has to wear it. There is no exceptions. Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be showing for it to work, too. Some part of it has to be showing.
Yeah.
We would get into that later into some of the other episodes.
But I had questions regarding this suit, because I was, like, conspiracizing the entire drive here.
Well, he has questions concerning the suit, too. Well, he lost the manual, so...
How do you lose the manual? Like, I don't know about other people, but when I'm given something new, I anxietively check every single thing every 5 minutes. Before I would have put that thing in the car, I would have checked to see if I had all the pieces with it. But no, he drops it in the middle of the desert. And I bet one of our things later on is going to be someone's going to pick up that manual, is going to build another version of the suit, and then we're going to have a head-to-head battle. That is my predictions. Am I right or wrong?
You are wrong.
Aw, man, that would have been so much more dramatic.
It actually it'd be appropriate, too, because you're hitting so many TV tropes there. It would make sense. So if somebody wants to like comic book version of this, I mean, there were no comics of this.
Really?
No comic book tie-ins, only a couple of toys.
That makes sense to me, though.
There wasn't a lot. I mean, but this was hugely popular and was running for 3 seasons, right up until there was a purge at one point on network television.
Oh, no.
Where they decided we don't want to do superheroes at all anymore. So Wonder Woman got canceled, Hulk got canceled, Spider-Man got canceled, and so did this.
Oh, that's a shame. But I had questions regarding the suit.
Uh-huh.
So, regarding the powers, so I'm holding one of these smaller versions of like the collection DVDs.
Yes, one of the
that he
DVDs.
gave me.
I have all 3 seasons of this on DVD, and so she had them to fidget with.
Yes, and I'm looking at the front of specifically discs 2 and 3, and I see these little icons on the bottom. And are these icons the powers?
I don't think they really are.
No!
I think it's just the design for the DVD.
What?
But
Because I was like, the white one looks like the whitish powers that we had. I was like trying to connect these. No, that's so boring.
I don't think that they put that much thought into it when they were putting it onto DVD. They certainly weren't putting that much thought into it on TV, because part of the thing is, every episode could be a different power. So whatever the story required, it's going to be him trying to discover the power and figure it out.
Okay.
So it's infinite. There isn't a real set list, although there is a lot of relationship to Superman here.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of connection there.
And again, it's because they're trying to. ABC wants their own version of Superman, and they're not shy about talking about it.
No, they play like part of the cartoon with the kid and the watching TV in the morning.
I was watching that. Yeah, they're playing Super Friends. I was watching that when I was a kid, and I was probably that kid's age.
Yeah, we get like connections connecting Pam to Lois Lane, and there's a lot of that kind of stuff here. There's a lot of that inspiration here.
I thought it was really interesting. At one point, he tells Pam, "You're already one step ahead of Lois Lane. She never finds out who Superman is." And you're like, well. Like, no. In 1980 and 1981, he's right. Lois Lane does not find out who Superman is until the early 90s, around 1993.
That's a lot.
2 or 3, something like that.
That's a lot later than I was expecting.
The wedding book is in 94 or 95.
Oh.
So at this point, he's absolutely correct. She has no idea. I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was interesting that they're showing the Super Friends cartoon, too. I actually had to look it up.
You had to look up if it was in like public domain or not?
No, I knew it wasn't in public domain, because that was still in first run.
Oh.
When those were cartoons that I would turn on Saturday morning, those exact ones. There's a few copies of them actually over here too. But the thing is, ABC was also running those cartoons.
Oh,
ABC
okay, so
ran
they were
and
able to
they ran this, so they had the license. They didn't have to.
Yeah, so they could just like hide it in there and like promote, but also not promote at the same time.
Well, and I don't know how much they wanted to promote. Certainly, all that talk about Superman really upset DC Comics.
Oh.
DC sued.
They did?
They did.
Why?
They didn't win, but they sued because they said it was too much like Superman.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that. He has his own unique twist on it.
He does. In fact, the origin story is more Green Lantern than it is Superman.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like a power that he was born with. It's literally in the suit. I feel like that's more unique compared to any characters out there.
Well, and the comedy to it as well.
The comedy in this movie is great. Okay, and I'm going to be a bit brutal here, but in a lot of the older stuff that you show me, I just can't do the comedy. It's not funny to me. I don't get it. I don't enjoy it. This was surprisingly different. The humor in this, it's witty. It's not like slapstick humor, but they think about it. They pull out the most insane references to make fun of each other.
They're pulling out references that you get. That helps as well.
And it's like this humor, it works for me, and that doesn't usually happen with your stuff for me.
And there's a lot of physical comedy here too. Everything he's doing with the suit, or well, rather everything he's not doing.
Not doing.
A little kid comes up to him as he's trying to figure out how to fly. It's like, you're really bad at this.
You're really bad at this. You got to take 3 steps and then jump, like you're jumping off of a dive board. You're really bad at this. Like, okay.
I swear that's actually, I swear that is a reference to the old Superman TV show, the black and white one.
Oh, no.
Because George Reeves, that's how he would fly. So when you would see him taking off, he would take a step back, take a running jump about 3 steps, and hit hard and jump up. What you didn't see is when he's coming down on a trampoline to bounce him up. That's where you're getting 3 steps and jump.
That's cool.
So there's so much of this, and I'm enjoying the characters. I'm enjoying the banter between them. William Katt and Ralph and Bill, the actual actors, they didn't get along at first.
Really?
So it really feeds into this antagonistic relationship you see on screen.
Speaking of, like, characters, I don't know. I do like Pam. She's a lot of fun. I don't like the FBI guy. I don't know if that's something purposeful or if it's just me. I don't like him. I don't like when he's on screen. I don't like how he talks to the other people. I find him incredibly rude and annoying.
Well, that's the character. That's kind of what he's
So, yeah,
being.
I'm not supposed to like him then. Okay, wonderful.
You are and you aren't. There's moments where he grows on you. At least for me, he does. Like, I love watching him antagonize the people who are about to torture him.
That's true, and I didn't connect that those were the same characters at first either, because I'm like, well, so much is going on right now.
Well, and yeah, like I said, the bad guys, it's almost like it's tacked on to the end because we're spending so much time establishing the main cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of that tension was real with them. It went away as time goes on because they're doing the show constantly. Katt comes from an old acting family as well. Oh. His parents did a lot of westerns and stuff like that. And so that was interesting to talk with him about that. He's one of the leads in Carrie in the original.
Really?
Yes. And
I feel like that's one of those movies we really got to watch at some point.
He's got much longer, fluffier hair in there even.
How can you have longer, fluffier hair? Your hair is already fluffy.
He likes his hair much longer, actually. But he also does a movie called House. And that's one I definitely want to do at some point. Yes. So it's a haunted house movie. But I don't really want to get much more into that. But it's one I really, really like. I mean, he's a very good actor. He's one of those he never quite hit the way that he hoped to, or that really I would hope for him to, because he's really good at what he does. He is one of the original auditions for Star Wars.
Really? Who did he audition for?
He was auditioning for Luke Skywalker. In fact, he's auditioning with Kurt Russell with some other people like that. I have those auditions around here somewhere.
I was going to say, I heard Star Wars and I don't... You've influenced my brain so much, I'm thinking Star Trek, and I'm like, that's not a character from Star Trek. But no, that's really interesting.
And like I said, I've got those auditions around here somewhere.
Huh.
It's fast, and again, really long, big hair at that time. That would have gotten cut and completely changed.
Oh.
But that was... So it's interesting to see what he did, where he went where he would go from here.
Mm-hmm. You know, like another thing that I did notice on this, and I actually pointed this out to you earlier. We were talking a little bit earlier about the suit and how he had to keep like adjusting it and fitting it, and it's like the aliens. They specifically said that the suit was designed for him. Like it's only going to work for him.
Well, they said it would only work for him. They never said it was designed for him.
So
it was designed for one person.
It was designed for one person. It doesn't fit him. I wonder if they were expecting someone a bit more bulky, because at least from the fidgeting, I'm assuming it's a bit too big on him. It drags in a bit too many places. And I'm just like, I wonder if there's like a reason for that.
Again, I'm not sure if it's something that they really thought about. I think that in retrospect, as time goes by, as this has become more of a cult classic, and really, this is way more fondly remembered than you'd expect for something that had as 3 years is not a bad run, but it's not a long run.
Yeah, not compared to a lot of the stuff at the time.
But I still see these shirts everywhere.
Really?
I still hear about this here. It's one of those things that anyone from my generation will see that logo and instantly like, yes. But the idea, I wonder if it will only work on one person. Maybe well, they said it wasn't designed for Bill. That it wouldn't work with him, but maybe that it would like scan him or...
Could it be like a particular bloodline, you think? Like a particular family, maybe, that it only works for?
All of that would be really...
Like an heir or some sort?
All that would be really interesting to look into. Now, I know what happens at the end, so I don't think that is it. When the series did end, there were plans to try and spin it off to something else as well.
Okay.
So the idea of what happens if somebody else gets the suit. So I know that it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be a bloodline. But that's not a bad idea.
Like, how fun would it have been for his son to finally come in and take up the suit when he's too old? Or
I wonder... that could still happen if somebody wanted to try and reboot or... do comics or something like that. I know that Dynamite did I think it was Dynamite, did a quick 3-issue miniseries of it, and it didn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. This might be a lot harder to do in modern times, though, too.
Yeah, I don't think this would resonate as much with audiences nowadays.
Well, I'm not sure whether or not it would resonate. I think it'd just be harder. It'd be harder for him to be this superhero in secret, and that's kind of how superhero shows were at that time.
Yeah, so this was like the era of like Birds of Prey and all that such?
No, this is before that.
Oh, this is before that?
Way before that. So this is early 80s, and any superhero show, you are basically the only superhero in the universe. There are no others. There are no crossovers.
Can you give me another show to compare it with?
Wonder Woman.
TV show, like the old one?
Yes, same era.
Like, really?
Same era.
You used to play that in the background while I'd be coloring. Mm-hmm. So only memory I have of Wonder Woman.
At that time, they also did an Incredible Hulk show. There was a Spider-Man show that lasted for about a season.
Huh.
And it would always be treated as you're the only superhero that exists, and nobody ever sees you. So nobody ever believes that there's another one out there.
Okay.
So it's always a secret. It's not a superhero universe. It's not the MCU. Mm. And this is in that same mold. And considering that he's going maskless, and...
True, I didn't notice that.
This is not a Clark Kent situation where he looks different in or out of the suit. It is the same guy. In fact, there's Polaroids of him after his first flight.
Yeah, I would be like, how are we going to get rid of these Polaroids?
Now imagine that in a world of cell phones and social media.
Yeah, you'd be doomed.
And you'd be and to try and be a teacher, you would lose your job. There's just no way.
Yeah, there's no way you'd be able to do, like, kids are surprisingly perceptive when it comes to a lot of that stuff, especially if you're teaching high school, which are chronically online these days. So, like, you wouldn't be able to keep an eye. You wouldn't stand a chance.
You know, that's actually one of those things that I've always said about Superman. The reason people talk about the glasses wouldn't work and the slouching wouldn't work, and I disagree because one of the actors who played Superman stood in New York under a big Man of Steel poster with a pair of glasses on, and not one person stopped him.
Like when he was just like looking out at people?
I mean, he's just hanging out on the street. So I think it would work. I do think it would work because you're not looking for that. The place it wouldn't work is if Superman and Clark Kent hang out with the same people.
That's true.
If Superman and Clark Kent don't hang out with the same people, I think that still works. So in this case, it would be imperative for Ralph to stay away from his class or anybody like that when he's in the suit.
Yeah, and no, that is a really fascinating idea of it.
But I think it'd be a much harder story to tell in 2026. It's just, it's
not the right era for it.
Yeah, it makes sense that okay, I'm stranded out in the desert with no cell phone, with no way of getting out. And
did we ever go and get gas for the bus? Or
the bus didn't run out of gas. It was the UFO that turned the bus off, just like Bill's car and everything else.
Right.
We'll see the aliens once or twice again as well. There's an attempt to get him another manual. There's other shenanigans where I seem to recall a baseball one.
Just baseball?
Well, I think they're trying to infiltrate some crime ring or something like that. I forget what exactly it is, but I do remember that for him to have the fast pitch using the powers, he had to have the suit underneath the jersey and had to pull the sleeve out a little bit. So you'd see a little bit of red coming out every time that he had to pitch.
Oh, no!
There's another one.
No, I didn't even really realize the whole thing with like the suit has to be showing a little bit.
Yes, at least a little bit.
That is such a fascinating limitation to the suit.
It comes back to the power is in the suit.
It's such a fascinating idea that it has to be like visible. And I love that whole idea because it opens up the door for so many like, oh, he's been kidnapped, they're keeping him in a giant blanket, the whole thing is there. He can't use his powers even if he's in the suit. Or we just take the suit away and he's powerless. I mean, the suit is still useless. What if we destroy the suit? Then there's no more superhero. Like,
and you can't just hand the suit over to Pam and tell her to go rescue him. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. And
you destroy it, boom, you're done. The whole thing is over. Like, it leads to, I feel like there would be so many like fan fiction opportunities, so many side or like which way book opportunities with
especially
that. Especially
if you free it from the television model that it was stuck in at the time.
Yeah, like I don't know about you, but I would love to see a which way book on this one. Kind of like the Doctor Who ones that you've got. Like, I think that would be fascinating.
You know, there was one other thing that I thought was interesting. So as soon as our FBI guy is on board.
Yeah.
And we know we're doing this. And, okay, let's go. Man, imagine the possibilities. We could land you right in the middle of Red Square. You could destroy all the Soviets' nuclear machinery. We could win the Cold War.
Yeah.
And at this point, Ralph's being naive and saying, there is no Cold War. There was absolutely a Cold War still going on in the 80s. But it brings to mind last year's Superman movie.
Yeah.
So they're already having, even 40 years ago, they're having this discussion of should he be getting involved in international affairs. And it's already there.
I feel like I'm kind of on my whole thing of are there international superheroes?
Well, and again, this universe, he's the only one. He's the only superhero.
I'd say like, honestly, if it was up to me, get rid of all bombs and nuclear stuff in general. That way everyone's on the same playing field. But like, I don't know how possible that would be.
Well, even if you could, you can't get rid of the knowledge.
You could get rid of the... all the computer data, and maybe, but even then, the knowledge is still in a person's noggin, so that makes life harder.
So
I feel like doing that would turn me into more of a supervillain.
You know what? That's a very interesting observation as well. And, and part of the problem is, we tried this also. We tried this in Superman 4.
And it's like there's not a definitive answer. I can't exactly go around killing everybody that I want just so that they can't make more nuclear stuff. You can't. There's only so much someone with powers can do realistically without, verging the line of supervillain, which is where we get like those anti-heroes and those like, I was a hero once, but then I saw the true light.
And I think Bill gets that. I think he understands that. And it's like, let's just go right now with the local stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just clean up our own backyard and see where that takes us. And I think that's a great answer to this. The questions are still there. There's still an open end there if they ever wanted to explore that. TV wasn't into doing a lot of big, deeper questions.
Yeah.
And even though this is kind of a deconstruction, it's not a negative one. No,
I don't think so.
They build him back up just as good or better at the end of any of this. Mm-hmm. So there's more that we may pop in some of these here and there for TV nights, because like I really want to go through and watch the Lone Ranger episode, where they bring in the Greatest American Hero meets the Lone Ranger.
Just meeting the Lone Ranger, or like the actor?
The actor, but that's a whole thing from that time as well. Oh. So that was interesting. That was also kind of really special for him because, again, his parents did a lot of Westerns and a lot of that.
That's true. So that would be very, like, unique to him.
We might watch the pilot for the spin-off at some point here as well. Mm-hmm. But that's about it for the Greatest American Hero. We've got some more of these, though. Some stuff. In fact, we've got some stuff that you've probably never heard of coming up in this track. So I'm actually really excited to see where this goes.
Oh, goodness. Okay, we're going to have to see where this goes. But I suppose that's all we have to say about the Greatest American Hero, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!